Oh yeah, we are turning it up a notch here at Homestead Healthy this week. The family's all coming in for a big post-virus summer prequel barbecue with lots of food, beer, and fun. So grab your beef, grab your spices, and grab your beer as I start off here with their most requested grab and eat on-the-go snack that I know will soon be one of your favorite recipes. It's a little dried snack that around here we call welcome back to Homestead Healthy. We're Bob
and Beth,
and today we're cooking up some mighty good Florida beef jerky. It's a long list, but man is it good. We're going to start out with the ingredients by making your own teriyaki sauce. Stir it up good, get everything mixed together, and get it over to the heat. The whole idea is you want to get that sugar to melt down. Make sure it's nice and soft in there and get it ready to start to boil. Once you start getting it to a boil, you can add that slurry. And anybody that makes the gravy knows you can take flour and water, mix it together, put it in something boiling, and you're going to get a nice thick gravy. The same thing here. The longer it cooks, the more thicker it's going to get. Well, just remember too, once it starts boiling, turn it off because it'll continue to thicken. The more it cools down too, it'll just thicken right up and you'll have yourself a good little teriyaki sauce. Hot and spicy banana ketchup. Who'd have thought? Now give it a good stir. You want to get all those spices dissolved in there. So you got a nice good blend going. Once it's all set, you're ready to grab the meat and get started. Now I've got a good butcher. Every Christmas I go down and I greet him with a jug of that clear liquid that my granddad taught me how to make in his backyard, and he cuts it any way I want. We call this roast beef cut. It's so thin you can almost make roast beef sandwiches out of it. The best bet, get on the good side of your butcher. You'll save a lot of time and a lot of money making your beef jerky. Now that's one thin slice of meat. Once you put that in the sauce and let it all soak in overnight, that's going to be some good jerky. The thinner the cut, the better off, as you'll see, the more like store-bought. Now I do have some pieces I'll be using that are a lot thicker, and I have to cook them a lot longer. But again, it's personal preference, what you like. I like these thin cuts. You'll see when they're done. Sometimes though, like this, I'll get a thicker piece. Go ahead, pound it down, get it as thin as you want it. Remember, you don't want to hit directly down. You kind of want a glance flow on it so that you can trim it as much as you can off the sides. Take it out, check it. If it's not thin enough, hit it again. It's your beef jerky. No one has to tell you what to do. With the grain, against the grain. Doesn't matter. I like some with the grain. Some of these fatter pieces against the grain, it'll be a little more tender. But again, if it's still too fat, put it all in the bag, beat it up again. Your jerky, your way. That's all in the pot. Give it a good stir, make sure everything's coated. Time to put it all in a bag. I get a 1 gallon baggie and I start filling her up. Now there's really no clean way to do this. You got to be careful or you make a mess. And let's face it, we're guys, I'm going to make a mess. I don't try to, it just happens. So fill up the bag best I can. Once you got all the meat in, you want to make sure that you're going to top off that bag with all that extra sauce. There's a lot of flavors in that sauce. You don't want to lose any of it. So now go ahead, nothing left. Take that marinade and pour it right inside the 1 gallon baggie. Just fill it right up. Now before you go any further, you want to make sure you don't get in trouble. Keep the kitchen clean. Just a word of advice. She may not be here right now, but she knows what you're doing. And me, let's face it, I'm a natural born disaster. I can make a mess. I don't even have to try hard. See, I take out the bag. What do? I set it on the counter. Time to clean again. Trust me, a wet towel saves a lot of marriages. So go ahead now. You want to seal the bag almost all the way. Get as much air out as possible. How do you know you're getting the air out? You'll see the liquid rise out, so it's almost coming out of the top. Once the air's out, massage it. I mean massage it good. Get in there, really knead it. Get that meat, make sure every bit's covered. Get it in the pan, toss it some more, and you're all set for the night. Go ahead, pack it away, stick it in the refrigerator, and you're done till the morning. Ooh, good morning. Well, we're into the next day and it's time to get the dehydrator going. I took out the meat, let it get to room temperature for about an hour. I've got a metal rack ready. I've got my dehydrator racks ready. And I've got a can of canola oil. Any type of oil spray will work though. So first things first, I want to take the bag, just check, make sure everything looks pretty good inside. Dump it into a strainer. I want to strain all that juice out. 99% of the beef jerkies that fail, they're too wet. People just take it from the bag, put it on the dehydrator, and think the dehydrator is going to be magical and take all that stuff off. It's not. So you want to make sure first you get all the liquid off, get it well drained, and think dry. Think dry the whole time. And now that it's drained, you can go ahead and start taking out the pieces. Now you do it either way, on a wire rack or on my dehydrator racks. I'll start with the wire rack here, but it's still the same no matter what. You want to take them out a piece at a time, lay it out how you'd lay it into your dehydrator. You want to make sure as you're laying it out, you give plenty of room around each piece so that the air can circulate. I've seen a lot of people will take it, slap it down onto their tray, and it's twisted and it's bent and it comes out all crooked. It just doesn't do it right. So take your time, spread it right. It'll pay off in the long run for you. Also, I look for like sizes in meats. I like to get the same thickness on each tray, that I know that tray will pretty much be done at the same time all together. You'll see I take those thick pieces I had later and I put them on their own separate tray. So that's going to take a lot longer. Now once you got your whole tray full, like that, this is a step I really recommend. Take a paper towel, dry them off. Pat them dry. When you're patting them dry, you're getting rid of all that extra moisture, and the dehydrator is going to work a lot better. And don't forget, you can do the backside too. Flip them over when you put them on the rack. Now here's a great tip. Before you put them on your rack or your dehydrator, spray them down with any type of spray oil. Trust me, when you take them off, it's a real easy cleanup. But again, don't do it in the kitchen. You'll end up with oil on the walls, on the counter, everywhere. Take them outside, spray them. You'll make her a lot happier, trust me. And one of the other secret I like to add, I take a little of that red pepper. Sprinkle it on top afterwards. What they say down here, it's never hot enough. So just go ahead, add what spices you want. Now the last tray are those extra thick pieces. That's going to go probably twice as long, if not longer, to cook those all the way through. They look like steaks compared to those roast beef cuts. So you got all your trays, everything's looking good. You know you did a good job because the kitchen counter's clean. We're going to head out to the dehydrator. Now every dehydrator is different. What might take me 4 hours or 5 hours in mine, my son-in-law may do it in 3, sometimes maybe in 6. You got to know your dehydrator, and the more you dehydrate, the more you learn. And not just jerky, dehydrate everything you can. You'll start to know it. Get that bond with that dehydrator. I'm loading mine up. I put the thickest pieces down the bottom, because as the others cook and I take them out, they'll be left in, and they'll probably go, like I say, quite a bit longer. But fill up your dehydrator. Mine's going to stay in about 4.5 hours for those cuts, and they should be done. But that's my dehydrator at 150 degrees. Yours, I can't tell you. I don't know your dehydrator. So it all depends on how it works, what it's got for temperature control, how well it dehydrates. Is it round? Is it rectangular? All different factors. How much meat is in there. So after 4.5 hours, mine was done. It pulled apart beautifully. You can see the strands coming out. It wasn't brittle. It wasn't bendy. It was just the right consistency in between. It tore easy enough, and you didn't get that old meat taste when you chewed into it from something that's not cooked all the way through. So the next step, of course, get them all off, get them out of the trays, and go ahead and get them ready to eat. So, once again, I thank you for watching. I hope you liked this and you try it out for yourself. And as always, please subscribe, put a thumbs up, and tell your friends about us. We're just getting started, so there'll be a lot more videos coming out soon. Take care, God bless, and thanks for joining us today at Homestead Healthy.